I buried it to stop her from becoming a mother.
Then why are you the one suffering?
I don't know. I am sorry.
Don't step outside, the old village healer screamed as the young wife reached for her front door. But she was too late. The woman stepped onto the dusty doorstep. Suddenly, she felt a sharp pain shoot through her feet. She fell to her knees. A strange bundle wrapped in red cloth slowly pushed out of the ground, as if the earth itself was spitting it back out. The healer's face turned pale. Who buried this here? No one answered. Then the healer whispered words that made every villager shiver. This charm was meant to steal a woman's children before they were even born. Everyone turned to look at the husband's first wife, who suddenly began to tremble, because she knew exactly where that charm had come from. Before we begin, subscribe and join our family for more emotional African village stories filled with shocking betrayals, hidden secrets, and unforgettable endings. Long ago, in the peaceful village of Umueze, lived a respected farmer named Obi. He had 2 wives. His first wife had been married to him for many years. She was proud and wanted everyone to admire her. His second wife was gentle, kind, and treated everyone with respect. Even though they lived in the same compound, peace never stayed for long. The first wife believed one thing: if the second wife gives my husband a child before I do, I will lose my place in this family. So jealousy slowly filled her heart. Every morning, she watched the younger wife fetch water. She watched her cook. She watched her smile. The more kindness she saw, the more angry she became. One afternoon, an old stranger entered the village carrying a small bag. The first wife secretly followed him into the forest. "I need help," she whispered. The old man looked at her carefully. "What kind of help?" "I want my co-wife to remain childless forever." The old man frowned. "I do not like using these things." But greed won. After taking her money, he handed her a small bundle wrapped in red cloth. "Bury this beneath her doorstep before sunrise. But remember, what is done with wickedness sometimes finds its way home." The first wife laughed. "I am not afraid." Before dawn, she quietly dug a small hole beneath her co-wife's doorstep. She buried the charm, covered it with fresh sand, then walked away smiling. Days passed, weeks passed. Nothing happened. Instead, something unexpected began to happen. The younger wife became stronger, healthier, happier. Then one morning, the whole compound exploded with joyful shouting. The healer smiled brightly. The second wife is expecting a baby. The husband danced with happiness. The villagers celebrated. The first wife's smile disappeared. This cannot be happening. She became even more bitter. Soon after, she began feeling strange pains in her own body. She visited the healer. The healer examined her quietly, then sighed. "There is nothing wrong with your body, but I cannot explain why no child is coming." Months turned into years, still no baby. Meanwhile, the younger wife gave birth to a healthy baby boy. The compound filled with laughter. Children played everywhere. The husband thanked God every day. But inside the first wife's heart, jealousy became hatred. One evening, she returned to the same old stranger. "You cheated me." The old man stared at her. "I warned you. What is done with wickedness sometimes finds its way home." She refused to listen. "You must fix it." The old man shook his head. No one can stop what has already chosen its owner. The first wife left in anger. Months later, a terrible storm swept through the village. Heavy rain flooded many compounds. The next morning, the younger wife opened her front door. As she stepped outside, The wet ground suddenly broke apart. A small bundle wrapped in faded red cloth pushed from beneath the doorstep. She screamed. Villagers came running. The old healer arrived. The moment he saw the bundle, his face changed. Nobody should touch it. He carefully uncovered it. Inside were strange objects tied together with black thread. The healer closed his eyes. This charm was buried to stop a woman from having children. A heavy silence fell. Then the healer slowly looked toward the first wife. Who buried this? Her hands began to shake. I don't know. But an old woman stepped forward. I do. Everyone turned. She was the village firewood seller. I woke up before sunrise that morning. I saw someone digging beside this doorstep. The chief asked, "Who was it?" The old woman pointed with a trembling finger. The first wife. Gasps filled the crowd. The first wife's legs became weak. She fell onto the ground crying. I was afraid. I thought my husband would stop loving me. I only wanted to protect my place. The healer spoke gently. Instead, you buried your own blessing. The evil you wished for another woman settled inside your own heart. The first wife cried harder than ever before. She begged her co-wife for forgiveness. The younger wife stood quietly. Then she walked over, lifted the crying woman from the ground, and hugged her. The villagers stared in surprise. You tried to destroy my happiness, the younger wife said softly. But I refuse to let hatred destroy yours. Even the chief wiped tears from his eyes. The healer burned the charm before the whole village. Its ashes were carried away by the wind. From that day, the first wife changed completely. She stopped competing. She stopped hating. She helped care for the children she once envied. Peace slowly returned to the compound. Years later, the village became known for forgiveness. Parents often brought their children to hear the story of the two wives. They would point to the old doorstep and say, "Never dig a pit for someone else. One day, you may be the one who falls into it." If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful African village stories filled with sacrifice, betrayal, mystery, and life-changing lessons. We'll see you in the next story.